My people, today I was going to broadcast the Night of the Dragon character build testing on Twitch TV. However, that didn't happen. Instead, I was kind of working on the Bone Lord of Worms character build. While I was working on this video, something very important came to my attention. I think we need to take a moment to discuss this. As many of you know, Steam has recently pulled up its brand new business model, Pay for Mods, where people can actually purchase mods they want to download instead of, well, getting them for free as we're accustomed to. Do not take my next few statements as unanimous support of this. I'm going to attack this issue from all angles, and we're starting out with the good.
And his muffin for lunch did not taste the good.
Let it be known that I support the pay-for release of large DLC-sized mods such as Worm's Tooth, Falscar, Undeath, and the yet unreleased Luftarin. Do you know why? Because no developer worth a grain of salt is going to put hundreds and hundreds of man-hours into a product that they're not going to get any return for at all. What kind of developer is going to do that? Maybe one with a little bit too much time on their hands and they're going to release it slowly over the course of years? What about a release within the next year? Put together professionally. Remember, volunteer does not equal amateur, and we can see professional quality work done in Skyrim with these mods that I mentioned earlier. So the question is, what kind of developer, under the circumstances of getting no reward for their time, is going to actually put forth that time? And the answer is none. Especially not the unemployed kind, because the unemployed kind is too busy trying to get a job. In this over-bloated market of game developers, where you have so many people who graduated with a degree of game design, but they can't get a job worth a damn, they're certainly not going to waste their time making something they're not going to get any reward out of. Despite an overabundance of unemployed developers, the reason these large-scale projects are so rare is not the lack of ambition. Lots of people have ambition, especially those who are working with the Skyrim editor. The problem is what do you get for your investment? And the answer is basically nothing. The gratitude of a grateful community. That's about it. Now, we have seen some people able to basically make a living off of Patreon, but they're more or less beggars. They are living off of the other people. And it's good faith that they will actually get their product done, but you have to look at it from all perspectives here. And the Patreon method is working for a few people, but for other people who have released their mod, they're not seeing any return on that invested time. Yes, the guy who made Falscar is working for Bungie now. Congratulations, that's great. But again, how does this help foster new developers with the promise of working for a company later on? That it was just spotty to begin with. Now, with this brand new system in place, we hope that mod developers who are very successful are going to take the money they got, reinvest it in themselves, so that they no longer need to work at whatever menial job they have that is not video game related, and they will be able to focus all that time and energy with the money that they're getting from the continued sales of their DLC-sized mod, and put it toward making another DLC-sized mod, therefore expanding our adventures. That's what we're looking for. And, of course, that's what we're really hoping will happen. Now, in addition to setting fixed prices that, are inflexible, you'll also see a bunch that may appear to be $4 or $5 when you first look at them, but it turns out they're only like $1 or $2, sometimes even just 99 cents. And that's the pay what you want method. You simply click the drop-down box where the price is, you select the price you want, say 49 cents, and click Buy Now. However, that range is choosable based on the author, how much they feel that they invested in making the product. In this case, the Lambda Locator, which is a flat-out Half-Life mod where you can play as Gordon Freeman in Skyrim, you can get that for 49 cents, and I feel that that is a good price considering character models had to be imported and crafted to Skyrim. But keep in mind, that is only for people who are humble enough to be able to set a fair price for what they want to do. And I don't mean fair price in terms of the number of man hours put in, because some inept people might take freaking forever to make a piece of garbage. I'm talking about fair market value when comparing it alongside other mods and other DLCs. Now, the only thing I felt was really missing from this setup was the ability to give your mod away for free while still asking for a certain amount of money, by having the drop-down box go all the way to 0, and I have not seen a single instance of it going to 0. If it can be done, no author on this list has done it, and I find that somewhat disturbing. Now, all in all, the system needs a lot of work, but it is promising to see a brand new Worm's Tooth or a brand new Falscar, something in that vein. Just between you and me, if the Tamriel rebuilt, I mean Beyond Skyrim team, managed to get their act together and make Olaf Cyrodiil, I would pay $9 for Olaf Cyrodiil. Tell you that right now. And I'm sure a lot of other people would as well.
But he was not sad, was angry one.
Now that we talked about the good, let's talk about the bad, shall we? Let's face it, being told that something was free, but now you have to pay for it, that's maddening. It's infuriating. I can only imagine now that authors are going to start removing their mods from the Nexus left and right to make sure it's only available on the workshop, so that they have to pay for it, because the Nexus isn't going to be charging people, which is, you know, I've had my gripes with the Nexus. I believe that their childish attitude with their moderators babying everyone is kind of stupid and is not fostering proper creativity. So the Nexus is kind of an inferior environment, but it's a superior way to download things. And having it hook right into a Nexus mod manager, having it hook directly into Mod Organizer, is freaking awesome. And the fact that all they ask for is a donation and the ability to see their ads, you will never have to pay with them if you don't want to. And that's why I think mod makers are basically going to start taking their shit down. And that disturbs me. I mean, when it comes right down to it, I'm not inconvenienced from having to use the workshop over the Nexus. I don't care. Mod Organizer plays well with it. My issue, my personal issue, is once again having something that was free and now you have to pay for it. If an author wants to archive the existing version of their mod, that's fine. If the author wants to then post an alternate version of that mod on the workshop that is improved, he or she's put more effort into it, it's an improved product, you can see the time and effort they put into it, yes, it's definitely worth $1. It's definitely worth $1.99 to go ahead and upgrade to the newer experience, but that's not what's happening. You have something that's in the public's hands right now. I'm not saying it's public domain because intricate copyright law doesn't exist for game mods yet that I know of. It's still an intellectual property, and it's still technically owned by the guy who made it, even though anything made by the Creation Kit is technically the property of Bethesda, so we're all screwed in this deal. But still, the intricacies of this haven't been worked out yet. But once again, something that was in the public's hands is now being locked behind a paywall. And that is disgusting. The next bugbear I have to deal with in this pile is outrageous pricing. Now, I have Wet and Cold selected here because this is a great example. It starts out at a suggested retail price of $4.99. That's $5. For Wet and Cold, that is way too much. But this is also an example of a mod that you can get on the Nexus currently. I don't know if he's going to pull it off the Nexus just to screw everybody, but right now you can get on the Nexus for free, or you can get the newer, more upgraded version on the workshop for money. Now, as I said, the suggested price is $4.99, but it scales all the way down to 99 cents. And 99 cents for an upgrade, again, I feel that that is fair and measured. And I feel like if he's going to continue to work on the mod, then I am going to see an increasing amount of value in that 99 cent investment. And I think for a DLC, for a option added to the game after the fact, it's fine. It doesn't impact my gameplay very much, it's aesthetics more than anything. Now, I'd like to contrast that good example against Midas Magic Gold. It's just a spell mod. All it does is add a few spells to the game. No quests, no adventures, no extra monsters or, 3D modeling required to make all these cool things happen. No, it's just monkeying around in the scripts, really. And let's face it, Apocalypse is better. By my personal opinion, I declare Apocalypse is better, and Forgotten Magic is way better. So, once again, to my personal opinion, I do declare. Now, they're asking for $5.99. That is a $6 price tag for this minor piece of expansion to the game. Simply a few new spell effects that you could attain with a different mod. See over there? We can only reduce it down to $2.99. That's right, there's a minimum $3 buy-in for this. I don't dare call it a piece of junk because it does what it set out to do, which is to provide us with a few extra spells. Are those spells great? Not really. Under this situation, you can't have enough to drink, I'll tell you that right now. Okay, so basically, this mod that they want us to pay for is actually incomplete. You see this area I got selected right over here? Do you see the WIPs? That's work in fucking progress. It means that it isn't even a finished product and they're asking us to pay for it. That's like early access bullshit, except it isn't even a fucking full game. I'm sorry. Where is this right? To pay $3 for a mod that does things not as good as other ones, and it's not even finished. What the fuck? There will be plenty of time to berate these mod authors later for having abused the system. And I say abused because technically what they're doing is not illegal as far as I know personally. It's morally wrong, but not illegal. Congratulations. You fucked us all. But you fucked me. You know why? Because of my ultimate mod codex for Skyrim. That's right, I've got to make a new one now because some of those mods are now pay for only. Congratulations me. So, a couple of them are just going to be ditched entirely. I'm not even going to put them up for recommendation anymore. And then the others that I feel are worthy, I'll go ahead and put those up in their own segregated pay for section. And we'll tally up the amount that if you wanted to buy all those mods, you'd have, what the price tag would be. And speaking of, think about this. If you wanted to get all your favorite mods, how many hundreds of dollars would you have to pay? Maybe 150, something like that. We don't know yet, because the system is not complete. They just rolled it out, meaning that the system will only be done when all the authors who are intending to put their stuff up for pay will make the transition to pay. So in other words, in about a week, maybe a month, maybe 2 months, we will have a better baseline figure as to how much this crap would cost us in order to install all our dream mods. And don't delude yourself into thinking we can always use the Nexus, because the Nexus could go down, or worse off, because, well, people are going to take down their stuff when they figure out that people are bypassing their paywall. I would be very shocked if mods weren't already being taken down as we speak.
Then, John was a zombie.
You know Jim Sterling, the voice, face, heart, and soul of the Jimquisition, who berates all these Greenlight developers because they think that their product is worthy of selling on a marketplace and it really isn't? Well, let me tell you something. Steam Greenlight's failure is not that it has all these people putting up their stupid crap. No, it's actually a good thing that people are putting up their stupid crap on Greenlight, and I'll tell you why. It's because they have a filter. That's what Greenlight is. It's to stop all of the crap from ending up on Steam. The Steam Workshop doesn't have that. There's no filter to prevent all the crap from coming in. And yes, Steam Greenlight does fail, and its failure is not that it has all those mods up. Its failure is that some of those crappy mods are actually coming through. Now, Unepic, which is one of my favorite mods of all... games. I'm sorry, I must have been referring to these as mods all the time. Anyway, games of all time happens to have come through Greenlight. And there are several other great examples of games that have. I know my wife was looking at the Total Biscuit play of Hunipop, however you pronounce that, Honeypop, and I'm thinking about buying that for her. And we do a Let's Play on that together just for shits and giggles. Now, that's a possibility for the future, but the point is that Greenlight is not the terrible, terrible thing that people make it out to be. It's just that people are stupid when they vote. And this applies to real-life democracy as well. People are dumb. The best argument against democracy is 5 minutes with the common individual. I believe Winston Churchill said that. I could be wrong, but the point is that Steam Greenlight really hasn't failed so much as the people who are voting for stupid crap. Stop voting for stupid crap. But in a similar way, so too is the workshop ridden with a bunch of crap. Yes, the Nothing mod. It does nothing. Can you imagine paying for the Nothing mod? Well, I assure you some people are going to, and you only have 24 hours after initially buying a mod in order to get it refunded. If it gets refunded, you lose access to it, which is funny because I don't know how it's going to resolve the ESP file being on your computer, and whether or not it's going to lock out that ESP file, or what the hell is going to happen. We don't know how the system works yet. No one has actually dissected it as far as I know. But I'll tell you one thing. We're going to see a lot of Nothing mods with doctored graphics that people are going to try to sell. And it's going to be a shit fest. They're going to be taken down. There's going to be refunds. But let me tell you how important it is to actually get your mods examined after you buy them. The fact is that you only have 24 hours to actually have this mod examined before issuing a refund. And it takes 2 to 3 days for you to get your refund, and if you have an excessive amount of refunds, they'll disable your ability to get refunds. They'll tell you about it first. They'll say, you are no longer eligible to get refunds. The reason is because you're seeing it as abusing the system, which I completely understand. Let's face it, buy something, get a refund. Buy something, get a refund, so on, so on, so on. Doesn't work out too well, does it? So, how do you avoid these scams then? Avoid having to pay for the Nothing mod? Well, it's simple. Just like real life, I spent a year selling DirecTV service, and I can tell you that they only had 24 hours to cancel too. And the number of people that canceled was much less than the people that actually went ahead and stuck. And once they were stuck, they were stuck. The best way to avoid any sales trap is simply to not impulse buy. That is, look at it objectively and then look for reviews. Get information from other sources. I'm pointing you out to YouTube, specifically Broduel, MMOX Review, Gopher, and myself. I will try to put out another Ultimate Mod Codex as soon as I can. But seriously, do not impulse buy these mods. Doesn't matter how cool they look. Doesn't matter what a couple other people in the comment section said. Look at video reviews of people actually playing it. I played through all of Falskar. I played through all of Worm's Tooth. I'm going to play through all of Undeath as well. Do you know why? Because a complete review is something that is sorely lacking in this community. And I'd like to see people actually get issued review codes like they do full-on video games. And if that happens, then we will see more professional quality products. We'll see a diverging paths, basically. You've got the people who are making good quality mods who will jump at the chance to have their mod reviewed. And then there are people who aren't making good quality mods who will never send out a review code ever. They just are hoping for that quick impulse buy, make a few bucks, move on to the next cheapo mod. Those people are disgusting and should be kicked off from Steam Workshop, or, I was going to say Greenlight, but the point is that these people are the kind of people who will kickstart, get me a huge pile of cash. And we want to avoid those people, and that's why we should start building up this culture, just like regular mainstream video game culture does, where we actually look at things, look at the Metacritic score, look at everything. Don't just take these people's word for it that what is in it is not only what it is, but also it is working. Oh my god, the number of broken mods out there, which I use all the time, I admit, but to have to pay for them in their broken state? I don't think so. So again, this system has a lot of amazing potential for mods like Luftarin or Tamriel Rebuild, Beyond Skyrim, to make these amazing products that I would personally pay for. And I'm pretty frugal with my money these days, I can tell you that right now. I've got over 500 games on Steam, and I'm not looking to acquire any more anytime soon. One of my viewers was kind enough to have gifted me Grand Theft Auto 5, which I've been playing recently, I admit, and not so much working on the Bone Lord of Worms character build video like I should be. But that's a different matter for a different day. I want to say it's been good, but it's been more bad than good, I'll tell you that right now. The potential is great. I look forward to a shining future for Skyrim modding, and I hope very much that all my character builds won't be invalidated with pay-for content, because that would piss me the hell off. But if Bethesda destroys their own modding community, well, it will be a spectacle, won't it? Expect another video or two like this as the situation develops. But thanks for listening to my rant. I'll see y'all next time.